Hey everybody, this is Meg coming to you live from the library kitchen for our first virtual cookbook club. Since we can't have everybody in to bring all sorts of yummy goodies to make together, we thought we would do just a little kind of a sample of one from one of our cookbooks. Today I've picked something from Chinese Fairy Tale Feasts, a literary cookbook. To go with our theme for the summer, which is Imagine Your Story. So we've got lots of fairy tales and jack tales and all sorts of fun stories going on this summer at the library. And what we'll be making today out of this really awesome cookbook is almond jelly with fresh fruit. This cookbook is really cool because it has a story in between each recipe. It's great to sit down and maybe tell with your kids or your grandkids, and then you can cook the recipe together. So let's get started on almond jelly with fresh fruit. Okay, so it says my very first step is I need to take 1 envelope of unflavored gelatin and put it in a measuring cup. And then I need to take 1/4 cup of water. Here's my 1/4 cup. And I need to mix that together a little bit. Just stir it up so all the lumps go away. And then it says that we need to sit and let it expand. And while we're going to do that, we're going to work on the base for our almond jelly. Okay, so the next thing says that over medium heat, we need to heat 1/2 cup of water. So let's get 1/2 cup of water. That one. And we need 1/3 cup of sugar. Let's bring my pot here over to the stove. Get our sugar out. Almost there. There we go. All right, and then last but not least, we need 1 1/4 cups of whole milk. The whole milk is kind of important for this. You want the extra proteins in it to help the gelatin bind. So let's grab our milk. Three. All right, so that was 1 1/4 cups of whole milk. And I need to turn it on to medium heat. Okay, it also says to use a wooden spoon for this part. So I have my little trusty wooden spoon here. All right. And we don't want to bring milk to a boil. And we want to make sure it doesn't scorch. So I'm going to stir it a lot. We also want to make sure that the sugar is fully dissolved. So like right now as I'm stirring, I can feel a lot of grittiness in the pot. And I want all of that to go away before we add our gelatin in here a little bit. Okay. Well, it's going to take a little while to warm. So while we're waiting for that to warm, we're going to go ahead and make the fruit topping that's going to go with it when it's done. For that, it says you need 2 cups of fruit, and it suggests berries, peaches, or pears. It actually specifically says that if you use pineapple, kiwi, papaya, honeydew, or figs, it'll ruin the jelly because there's enzymes in those fruits. So if you want to use those, you have to heat those fruits to 185 degrees to destroy the enzymes first. So to avoid that, we're using some blueberries today. So I'm going to take my blueberries, and we're going to take 2 tablespoons of orange juice. This is, oops, a little messy there. All right. So we're going to take our orange juice and we're going to pour 2 tablespoons of orange juice into our blueberries. And we're just going to kind of shake them up. I'm actually going to use this lovely spoon here. And I already washed these berries before I got started and made sure that there were no stems. There we go. That's good. Let's check on our milk, shall we? It's working on it. That's really nice, huh? Okay. So I was thinking I might share the story that goes with this particular recipe while we wait on our milk to warm. It's called A Wondrous Pear Tree. You can see how lovely these are. And this book is by Paul Yee. The tales are, the illustrations are by Xiaoli Wang, and the recipes are by Judy Chan. And this lovely book is published. Let's see if I get to the page. This book, it was published by Crocodile Books. So, one day, long ago at a busy market, a farmer's wife was standing by her wooden cart shouting, "Juicy pears for sale! Sweet pears, freshly picked early this morning." Eager shoppers surrounded her, handing her money. An old Taoist monk limped over and held out his hand. "Kind auntie, please give me a pear, just a little one." His voice was raspy, his face was thin, his body gaunt. His robe was patched in many places. A gourd of water hung from a cord around his neck. The farmer's wife avoided looking at him, but the monk slipped between the shoppers and came right up to her. "Please, auntie, show some heart. I have not eaten in 2 days. My pears are for sale. I need the money to feed my children." "You have so many beautiful pears," the monk said, pointing to the huge pile in her cart. "I only ask for one." "Not even a one. Go away." The monk didn't move. "Please," he begged, "just one small pear." "No," she shouted. "No, no." Everyone crowded around. A noisy argument in public was always fun to watch. Someone shouted out, "Woman, don't be so stingy." "Give the poor monk a pear," another insisted. A third cried, "He's so hungry." Soon a soldier wearing armor clomped over. He was carrying a long spear, and a heavy sword was sheathed at his waist. The soldier reached into a purse hanging from his belt, pulled out a few coins, and handed them to the farmer's wife. "Give the monk your juiciest pear." "Thank you, young man," the monk said, taking the pear and bowing. "You have a good heart." He turned to the jostling crowd and shouted, "Thank you for speaking up for me, good people." Then he bit into the pear, broke it open, and took out the seeds. Kneeling down, he scratched a hole in the ground and dropped in the pear seeds, covering them with soil. He watered them from the gourd around his neck. Soon a sliver of bright green sprang up. Everyone gasped and pushed forward. The green shoot grew into a leafy stalk. In an instant, it turned into a sapling, and by the next instant, it was a sturdy young tree with thick bark. Branches shot out from the trunk, thrusting up into the sky. Fragrant pink blossoms bloomed and fruit began to take shape. Soon the tree was heavy with ripened pears, all dark yellow. "Friends, all this fruit is for you," the monk called out, stepping aside. Everyone rushed to the tree, bringing ladders and boxes to stand on. In no time, all the pears were gone. Shouts rang out. Very sweet, the best pears ever. Delicious, juicy. The farmer's wife's mouth hung open in astonishment. The monk reached up and broke off a tree branch to use as a walking stick. Then he clapped his hands sharply, and the tree vanished. Everyone cheered. The monk bowed to everyone and limped away with the help of his new walking stick. The farmer's wife turned to her cart, ready to shout out that her sweet pears were for sale. But they were all gone, and the cart's wooden handle had disappeared. "The monk did this!" she cried out. But it was too late. The monk was nowhere to be found. Isn't that a fun story? I like that one a lot. Okay, so let's check on our milk. See if our milk's doing. Oh, yeah. It is definitely dissolved. I don't feel any more sugar in there. All right, so now we're going to take our gelatin. See, look at that. And we're going to scrape it out with a rubber spatula into our pot. There we go. Good. Bring it down a little bit. Almost got it. I think that's all of it. Now we have to stir it in the gelatin until the gelatin's fully dissolved into the milk. Just like that. Now you may be saying, Meg, I thought you said this was almond jello, not milk jello. Well, our very next step is to add some almond extract. Our lovely cookbook says that we should add 2 teaspoons of almond extract. 1, 2. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm supposed to take this off of the heat now. So I'm going to take my lovely pot here full of milk and gelatin and sugar and almond extract. I'm going to stir it so that it will cool off quicker because we want this to be nice and cool before we put it into the pan to chill. So this next bit, it says in the cookbook that you should put this in an 8x8 pan, either a ceramic or glass pan. I don't have an 8x8 pan here today, so I'm going to use this lovely piece of Tupperware instead. And I'm going to pour it in here. All right. And then I'm going to let it cool completely so it can go into the fridge. And then it needs to chill in the fridge for 3 hours. Okay? And clearly I'm not going to keep you on here for 3 hours by the school, so I made some this morning. And so when it's in your container, after you've done it, it's going to look a little like this. I've already cut some out so we can do up a dish of it here in just a second and try it. So it looks just kind of like white jello. And I already cubed some up. I put some into my dish. And now we need to put some fruit on it, right? Because this is almond jelly with fresh fruit. So, So here's what we've got. You see that? Isn't it pretty? Now, let's see how it tastes. That's good. Nice and sweet, very mild. And the fructose and orange juice adds a nice punch to it at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys can make some of this at home. It's a lot of fun, really easy, and everybody can have a nice dessert. Thanks.